I'm back with part 2 of this, and I do question the Attorney General, the Prime Minister of this country. I also question the Centrelink Minister. I also question the State Minister of Police. I also question a lot of people. Why is it that we are wasting taxpayers' money? We aren't streamlining the family court system. We are picking on vulnerable people. We are breaching human rights laws. We are breaching human rights, social justice, and all these things that are happening in this country. Is it because that we are employing people in government decisions that do not know what they're talking about, and certainly do not know the law as much as they should know the law? And this is what I'm saying. At the end of the day, enough is enough. People that are disadvantaged and people that are less educated and do not understand the law. You know, a man is charged by police. What for? Some bullshit reason. He goes in front of a court, he wastes valuable court time. At the end of the day, if there was an investigation into the issues, they'd find out the police provoked the person. What I'm trying to say here is I'm giving examples that the police, the Queensland Police, the South Australian Police, the Victorian Police, the Territory Polices and all the rest of it, they are going about raising money for the government. So in other words, police get bored in a police station, say Fortitude Valley or whatever, and they go out and they go looking for trouble. They go looking for it. They don't do their job, they go looking for trouble. They don't go looking to better the community or help the community or help the vulnerable person, they go looking for it. And this is where taxpayers' money is being wasted. I've proved that today. I've tried to get assistance from the ministers, and basically they brush it under the carpet, they breach state and federal legislations, though they should understand those things. Merely the family court says my wife is not entitled to her family court file, and it'll be at her cost and at her expense, though she's on a pension. At the end of the day, the federal government's saying, one hand, okay, we'll give you money to help you and support you. This is where I say to Rob Oakshott and I say to the independent members, what are you doing to make people's lives much better that are vulnerable, that are disadvantaged, that are on pensions? The older generation, the senior generation, what are you doing to make their life better? I mean, it's quite disgusting to hear that a federal government is betraying its own people. Is betraying its own people because basically you might as well go back to the days where, okay, well, we don't want to assist. We want to be seen to be looking to be doing the right thing. But I encourage everybody out there, it's people power. You know, somebody out there that has the money and the challenge, and you listen to this video, you should start up a new organisation, and it should be about protecting the vulnerable, the disadvantaged, people that are on pensions, to stop politicians bullying people, to stop the government, to have a better system in place. The family law courts in Australia are a joke. Are a joke. Mothers are being denied their relationship with their children. Fathers are being denied their relationship with their children. There is somewhat an unequal balance in the relationship in the family law courts and the Federal Court of Australia. And at the end of the day, it seems to me that this falls on deaf ears. And I believe that people need to get up and start lobbying and start complaining. Let's understand this. You will not get into trouble by complaining. You will not get into trouble by expressing what you think. Set your own YouTube up. You can do what I'm doing. It's very easy to do. It costs me nothing to do what I'm doing on YouTube right now. All it costs me is the internet connection and phone. At the end of the day, I have an old saying. You can keep someone quiet for a certain period of time, but eventually they will think. Inspector McCaw and Inspector Williams, they are retired inspectors of the Queensland Police Force. Yes, they are my superior officers in the days of the 1980s. Yes, those are the ones that I reported to. But at the end of the day, the system hasn't changed at all. We have a system in crisis. The federal government, the state systems right throughout Australia are in crisis. We have a health system in Queensland, we have a health system federally. The Federal Minister for Health said to me, well, it's not my problem. The State Minister for Health said, well, it's not my problem, because we only deal with state hospitals, and doctors that are privatised, they can do whatever they like. and they're above the law and they can get away with whatever they like, and there is no accountability from across the board. So what I'm saying is the federal government's in crisis, and I would agree that we should go back to the polls, and we should go back for a new election, and we should allow the people to make their vote heard. I don't believe it should be on Rob Oakeshott. Rob Oakeshott, if you put your money where your mouth is and you start looking after the disadvantaged, there are so many people in New South Wales that are disadvantaged and that need help. They are crying out for help. The family court system's in crisis. The New South Wales police is as corrupt as Queensland police. The South Australian police are corrupt as the rest of them. The Victorian police. All these things are happening, and the way that I am talking, I somewhat am being labelled. Is it right to attack? I'm not attacking, I'm basically talking. Now, people can do the same thing to me. A minister could get on YouTube and talk about me and talk about this, if he chooses to, if he can find the information. But the simple fact is, the family law court is in crisis. Mothers are being denied their rights, children are being denied their rights, and families are being denied their rights. Why should one parent have it over another parent? And why should the federal court judge or the family court judge actually support that parent to have it over the other parent? Why should there be this support in the family court to bully the other parent and also encourage this? I don't believe this is acceptable. For instance, I've got a federal court registrar in Brisbane here that stated, where is the documents gone? That stated, I have a federal registrar, the deputy registrar, regards. I don't know whether people can identify this signature or not. If you can, you'll know who I'm talking about. Right. A deputy registrar in the Federal Magistrates Family Court, Federal Magistrates Court. He says that apparently litigants are not welcomed. There's this thing of bullying people into lawyers. Bullying people into lawyers. There's this thing going on where it's the lawyers, it's the boys' school. It's in thing. You know, we have to bully people towards lawyers. No, you are entitled to be your own litigant. Litigant means you represent yourself. You're entitled to be your own litigant. Litigant, L-I-G-A-N-T, litigant. You are entitled to be your own litigant, and you are entitled to defend yourself in a family law court. You are entitled to defend yourself in any court, and a judge must accommodate you. A judge, the courts cannot bully you. The courts cannot say you cannot defend yourself. And more, as days goes on in this century, more and more people are understanding that they don't need to be wasting their own money when it comes to employing a lawyer, when you can be your own litigant and basically employ yourself to defend yourself. You do not need a lawyer to defend yourself in this country no more. And it is actually against the law for any court, federal magistrates court, family court, if any magistrate, federal, family court actually try to push it on you that you need a lawyer, you tell them they're breaking the law. They're breaking the law. Because you do not need your litigant. I've got this deputy registrar stating that this writing is not legible. Is not legible. And as far as I'm concerned, it's legible. They accepted it in Melbourne, so why can't they accept it here? Because you've got these people that are doing the wrong thing. I'm going to conclude in 2 secs. But the only purpose of doing this is to get it out there. To get it out there that vulnerable people, people that are disadvantaged, are being taken for a ride by the federal and state governments. And it's about time people power, it's about time people stood up. Maybe we need to have a big protest in Canberra with thousands of people coming from different states to protest against the government's way they treat disadvantaged people on pensions and working class people that should not be treated like they are.